Good afternoon, everyone. Our project looks at one of the most defining shifts of our time, the rise of artificial intelligence in the workplace. Across industries, AI is no longer a futuristic idea. It's changing how decisions are made, how productivity is measured, and even what it means to work. In this presentation, we will explore a specific aspect of these evolving dynamics and how it could play out in Singapore's workforce. Here's an overview of today's presentation. We will begin by stating our research question before framing its significance and context, namely why it matters and what ethical and governance lenses we will be using. Next, we will share our fieldwork, which involves the surveys and interviews that capture perspectives from diverse stakeholders. Then, we'll move into our analysis through established governance frameworks and conclude with 4 concrete policy proposals and their justifications. At the heart of our project lies this question: who owns the AI productivity dividend? As AI automates and accelerates tasks, productivity across organizations is rising, but the benefits are not always evenly shared. This question isn't just about economics, it's about ethics and governance, specifically distributive justice and trust in the systems that shape the future of work. We are therefore looking for meaningful ways to navigate the complex interplay between corporate incentives and employee welfare in Singapore's tripartite ecosystem. Moving on to the significance and context of our research question, on one hand, there are evident risks from the unfair distribution of productivity dividends that we need to address, encompassing workforce inequality, distrust, distressful emotions, and more severely, unfair job displacement. On the other hand, addressing it well brings clear opportunities in the form of greater efficiency, equitable wage growth, upskilling pathways, and meaningful job redesign. Our project navigates this tension within 4 governance frameworks: accountability, transparency, responsibility, and fairness. These serve as the ethical compass for our analysis. I'll now pass the time to Alahmadi, who will continue on the fieldwork and methodology.
Our project, Who Owns the AI Productivity Dividends, uses a sequential mixed method approach across 4 phases to explore how AI productivity gains are created and who truly benefits. In phase 1, we conducted a survey using Google Form to gather quantitative data on employees' experience with AI, including usage, perceived benefits, job securities, and fairness in productivity sharing. Phase 2 involved semi-structured interviews and leadership group discussions with HR union representatives and employees to understand how AI affect fairness, autonomy, and transparency. Phase 3 connected our findings to literature on AI ethics and governance to deepen understanding. Finally, Phase 4 analyzed the data using framework like fairness, accountability, and transparency to identify gaps and policy recommendations. Together, these phases combine field evidence and theory to answer a core question: who owns the AI productivity dividend? Our respondents mostly represent workplaces where AI is already in use. About 90% work in large organizations with over 1,000 employees, and another 90% are in aviation and IT roles. Sectors leading digital transformation. Around 71% have 1 to 5 years experience, meaning they are early career employees directly engaging with AI. For the qualitative phase, we interviewed 6 employees plus 2 HR and 2 union representatives. HR reflected the company side, while employees and union voiced the workforce perspective. This mix ensures a balanced understanding of how AI productivity is experienced across different roles and interests. Our survey shows that AI is widely viewed as efficiency enhancer. 90% agree AI helps them complete tasks faster, and 60% do not feel anxious about being replaced. 71% say AI hasn't reduced their autonomy, suggesting responsible automation can empower workers. However, respondents asked for clearer communication and structured training to understand AI decisions. Most believe AI can be fair only if humans remain accountable, while nothing that employers and tech providers benefit most. This highlights the need to share productivity gains more fairly through training, better pay, or shorter hours. Employees see AI as a useful assistant for brainstorming, analysis, and insights, but not yet essential to their jobs. While it boosts individual efficiency and confidence, companies haven't provided formal training or extra pay. Only 43% feel comfortable being responsible for AI output, showing uncertainty about accountability. Most prefer wage increase over shorter hours, viewing pay as a fairer reward for AI-driven productivity. They also call for more transparency in AI decisions and involvement in retraining. Overall, employees want balance where AI support rather than replace human work, and fairness is ensured through open communication, equitable reward, and shared responsibility.
Okay, next, from the employee union point of view, we get insight that they want to advocate AI adoption to be tied with fair benefit sharing, as this will get people or employees to get on board with that new technology and boost their morale, and also to build trust between employee and employer. This will also benefit the company in some way. But the fair benefit sharing is not the only thing that needs to be done to build trust. They also mention about emphasizing the transparency regarding this matter. The benefits they mention is also not limited to the short-term bonus that is going to be received by employee, but also to prioritize long-term job security, as the short-term bonus will not reduce the employee anxiety when their job is at risk. They also mention about the company to nurture their employee via upskilling on the latest technology, especially on AI. From the HR point of view, their main concern is to find a balance between company and the employee needs, but they feel struggle to measure the AI productivity gains and impact, as they consider this is still new technology for them, and it is indeed rapidly changes. And as there is no formal AI benefits at the moment, they prefer flexibility on determining the AI productivity gains distribution. So based on the interview insights and the survey, and to answer our research question regarding AI productivity gains, we break down into these four governance framework analysis. So the first one is accountability, that HR mentions about they prefer flexibility at the moment because they feel hard to determine the AI productivity share. This creates decision making to be decentralized and lack of clear oversight. And the next one is transparency, that employee felt they are not involved enough regarding the policy on AI productivity gains. This creates the unclear, this is caused by the limited employee involvement and unclear benefit metrics. This creates a trade-off between transparency on productivity gains or keeping the company confidential information. Next is responsibility. It is something right to do for the employer to prevent overwork by AI, and at the same time also safeguard the worker autonomy, including the job security. This creates a trade-off between short-term hour system bonus that we mentioned earlier versus the long-term job security. Last but not least, fairness is regarding the productivity gains among employee and the employer. This creates trade-off between the equality of AI productivity share, productivity gains distribution versus the equity of the access of AI adoption between employees. Next, we will talk about the policy brief. We are about to suggest this for framework. So the first policy is named human in the loop when determining on how to distribute productivity gains, as the current condition is employees express lack of involvement. At the same time, the employer seeks to safeguard confidential information. And the goal we are trying to achieve is to build mutual trust between employee and employer, and then to boost the employee motivation and productivity by using AI. And the last is to reduce workplace anxiety. So to bridge between this current condition and the ideal goal we are trying to achieve, my friend Harun will walk through the actionable solution that we are about to suggest.
Okay, thank you, Naufal. So I'm currently many employees feel excluded from decisions on how AI productivity gains are managed. Interview with employee representative confirms that no AI specific policy exists yet. At the same time, employees aim to protect confidential information, which make involving employees more challenging. This created trust gap. Employees fell out while management struggle to balance transparency with confidently. So our goals strengthen mutual trust between employee and management through the involvement and transparency. The second one is to ensure the employee fire benefit from AI adoptions, boosting motivation and productivity. And also to reduce the workplace anxiety, particularly pairs of the AI replacements human role. So the outcomes is more inclusive, fire and confidence work environment in the AI era. Okay, for documentation, past the implementation, the most companies still don't have clear policy for managing AI productivity gain. This causes ambiguity, loopholes, and lack of accountability in how these gains are handled. The biggest challenge is the lack of the clear and direct measurement of AI productivity gains, making it hard to set fair rules. For the solution, we propose requiring company to create a formal documentations, metric, policies, following the first approach, the similars like ESG framework. They can start with voluntary disclosures, then gradually move towards standardized reporting and regulation, ensuring transparency, fairness, and long-term trust. For formalizing AI gains management, our goals build a standardized framework to measure and regulate AI productivity gain. For the first stage, the voluntary disclosures initiative company through recognition program and training cases. For the stage two, increase the maturity and correct the adoptions across industry to develop a consistent framework. For the stage three, establish regulations. Government and policymakers set the regulation to ensure long-term compliance. For formalized AI gains management, our third policy focus on the transparency in AI productivity gains, and more importantly, how those gains are set. Transparency is key to making sure this productivity gain are fair distributed among the people who use the AI at work. For our survey, we found that only 42% of the employees believe that AI decisions in their workplace are fair. And while everyone uses AI at work, many are unsure how productivity gain are measured and how those benefits are shared. The productivity shares career improve, but salary and work hour have stayed at the same. In the most case, the economic benefit remains with the organization instead of being shared the employee. For the next, Nadia will explain for this policy.
Okay. To build fairness and trust, transparency policies should become the norm. Companies can start small by holding regular town halls or publishing annual productivity reports to show how much productivity has improved, how these gains are being shared, whether through bonuses, training, or welfare programs, and which groups are benefiting. When employees can see a clear link between AI-driven productivity and real rewards, it builds trust, accountability, and fairness. Our final policy goes one step further, ensuring fairness in how gains are distributed. Fairness isn't just about access to AI tools, it's about equitable outcomes in learning, job security, and pay. Without clear standards or audits, AI can easily widen inequality, even though it increases efficiency. Our goal is to make sure technological progress enhances human welfare, not replace it. From our fieldwork, we found that most companies keep AI gains without formal sharing policies. Unions are calling for safeguards and fair benefit sharing, and employers admit fairness is handled informally. In some cases, like Amazon's AI-related layoffs, we've seen productivity gains come at the expense of worker security. To close this gap, we propose 3 key measures. First, equity-based upskilling, retraining employees whose jobs faces automation and support them in transitioning into new roles. Second, mandatory gain sharing policies, which link measurable AI productivity to real rewards. And lastly, independent fairness audits that publish annual reports that show how AI benefits, trainings, and job protections are distributed. By embedding fairness into AI governments, we ensure that AI doesn't just boost productivity, it uplifts the people behind it. And to conclude, AI adoption does not automatically lead to fairness. Without strong frameworks, productivity gains risk benefiting only companies. That's why we need governance policies to ensure AI gains are shared. Ultimately, we should aim for an AI-driven economy that uplifts workers, one that leads to inclusive and equitable growth for everyone. Thank you for listening to our presentation.